This is the Cliff Yates Show. Personal growth, motivation, inspiration, and philosophies for a great life.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Cliff Yates Show. You are in the right place, and I'm excited today for the guest that I have on. He's got a great book, Warrior to Warrior, and we're going to talk today about the 7 steps of getting to a warrior mindset. This guy's all about in service to other people. He's about what I'm about. I'm talking about having a positive impact on other people. I'm really excited to know what I'm going to learn today. So, Martin Salama, thanks for joining me, brother.
Thanks, Cliff, and thank you for pronouncing my last name right. That's pretty good. Most people screw that up.
I did that twice. Once when I forgot to record, and I did it again. So I'm all right now. So tell me, how did you get to the point where you were, man, it's all about serving others and this positive mindset and what you do. How'd you get to that point?
Yeah, don't you wish we just all woke up one day and that was who we are? It doesn't work that way.
That would be too easy, right?
You know, I have to say, I'll go back, not too far back, to like 2008. All right. Remember that year? It was an interesting year.
Oh, yeah. That's when they tried to get me to get another mortgage on my house, but I'm glad I didn't.
Well, that's part of my story. So in 2002, 2003, maybe even 4, my wife and I decided to start a new project. I just closed the business. I was looking for something to do, and my wife came to me. She said, you know, I just started playing tennis. At the time, I was living down in New Jersey by the Jersey Shore. And she goes, but the problem is there's not enough tennis courts around here. And I'm playing at 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night because that's when the courts are available. Maybe we should open up more tennis courts. Now, Cliff, I got to tell you, I have never been an athlete in my entire life, to the point that you could even call me an athletic supporter. The old people know what that means. The young ones so he supports athletes.
Yeah.
Right. So, but you know, I found out later that my whole life I was a people pleaser. So I was like, okay, that's what she wants me to do. I'll do that. In my back of my mind. So we start on this journey. We go and we find a guy who does feasibility studies. And he says, yeah, your area is ripe to have at least another 7 or 8 tennis courts. And you have the right demographics and the right psychographics and all the graphics that you need. He says, if you think you're just going to have a tennis court, don't think you're going to make a ton of money. You're going to barely clear your thing and you'll make a little money, but nothing that's going to be great. You've got to expand it. You've got to include a health club. You've got to include membership. You've got to include this, that, the other thing. Before we knew it, we went from opening up 7 or 8 tennis courts to deciding now we're going to build 100,000+ square foot facility, tennis courts, pool, full state-of-the-art gym, basketball court, spa, everything.
Perfect.
Right? Sounds great.
Yeah.
So now we decide, we find the land, we find the architect, we do all the work, we're putting money into this. And you mentioned about mortgages and stuff. And like, I decided, okay, I'll go out and get investors. I'll get people to whatever. And then I was like, even borrow money from family, but it wasn't enough because, you know, it cost money to get to this part. So I went into the bank and they're like, yeah, refi. Okay, refi, no problem. I think I refied at least twice.
Wow.
In that 4 or 5 year part. Because going to the bank in the early 2000s, 2003, 4, 5, 6, 7, it was like going to Costco and getting samples from the ladies at the end of the aisles.
Yeah.
They were handing them out.
Exactly.
Like they were samples. You know?
Yeah,
and
they were.
Like,
yeah.
Okay, HELOC, refi, I'll do it all. Keep the project going. So now we're going to the city, we're going to the state, and like, yeah, you got to do this, you got to do this. And the bank is like, we can't wait for this project to happen. We'll fund you. Fantastic, beautiful. So I'm putting money in, I'm getting it ready. And the city says, okay, this looks good, but we need you to go do a feasibility study on the what's going to happen, a civil engineer, to figure out what's the traffic going to be like, what's the parking going to be like, and all that. Okay, we'll go and do all that. By now, between my money and the people that are invested and that I've borrowed from, I'm over $3.5 million into this project.
Wow.
Out of pocket.
Yeah.
With me saying I'm on the come because the day I get all the approvals, I'll go to the bank and I'll be good. I'll be flush. All right. Finally, in the summer of 2008, we get all the approvals.
Great.
Go to the bank. I'm like, okay, we're ready. I got everything. We're signed. He goes, yeah, we're not lending right now. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? For the last 3 years, you tell me I can't wait for the project.
Oh
Well, things are
man.
slowing down.
Oh my
It's not that
God.
way anymore. A month later, it's September 2008. Bernie Madoff,
Yeah.
subprime loans. The financial world crumbles like a house of cards.
Yep.
And where am I? I'm the joker on the bottom of the deck. And I'm not laughing, man. I'm
No.
literally
No
crying.
way. Yeah.
Right? So here I am. I'm broke. I stopped paying my mortgage. I stopped paying my car payments and all that stuff. Now, I got to tell you, Cliff, in my almost 50 years up to that point, that stuff I never did before.
Yeah. Oh,
So
that's
all of a sudden, one day, 2-3 months later, my son tells me, Dad, look outside. My BMW was being towed away. It was repossessed. And imagine my son, how he felt.
oh
Seeing
my
that
God.
happen.
I know it. That's true.
Right? In the meantime, the house was foreclosed on. Luckily for me, believe it or not, I lived in New Jersey. There were so many foreclosures that it took them years to finally put the paperwork through.
Wow.
Right? Crazy, but we lost the house too.
Gosh.
So could you imagine where I was in my state of being?
No, in your state of mind. I can't imagine the stress on your life. Wow.
It was terrible. Thank God I had supportive family around me who helped me get through it, but as much as they could. It wasn't like they were just writing me a check for $3.5 million.
You probably couldn't
And a
see a
lot of
way
that
through
money
at
I
that
borrowed
time.
from my
Yeah.
mom and my family. So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I had to figure out how to pay them back too.
That's even worse that you borrowed from friends and family. Those are the ones that it kills you, that you're letting them down, you feel like, right? I mean,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
wow.
And, in business, we all take risks.
Yeah.
Real entrepreneurs, the word entrepreneur is a risk taker.
That exactly. You have to be.
Right.
Yeah.
And I gambled and I lost.
Yeah.
But my mindset was in the gutter, was down.
How can it not be? Yeah.
And it took me about a year to get out of this depression, which I now understand was obviously a situational depression based on what was going on.
Exactly. Yeah. It made sense. Yeah.
Yeah. And when I finally dug myself mentally out of this hole, I was like, okay, now what do I want to do? I got nothing, right? I'm reinventing myself. So how do I want to do this? So I thought about it.
Who was influencing you at that time to turn you around? Who were you listening or reading?
I went to therapy. I went to coaches, and I had some supportive family around me as well. Right. And it helped me get through that. I believe me, it wasn't a journey that was easy, but looking back now, I could probably say I wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm not who I am today because of that. I am who I am today because of what I went through those days. So here I am saying, okay, what do I want to do? And I thought about my life and the things that I love doing. And I realized I never really enjoyed being a businessman. I never liked the sales thing. I never liked it. So since I can rewrite myself, I thought, okay, what do I want to do? And I thought about it and I realized I was always involved in community events, and I was always a leader in these community organizations.
Oh, wow. Great.
Yeah, always in my whole life. And I got that from my parents. They were always leaders and they taught us the same way. And as leaders, people come into the organization, they go, oh, Martin, I can't do what you're doing. I'm like, Cliff, I'm not asking you to.
Yeah, that's right.
Just come in and give me something, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be 24/7.
Yeah.
Just give me a little bit. And what I would do is I'd figure out what they were good at.
Yeah. Plug that in. Yeah.
Hone them on that. And I realized what I was doing was I was coaching them.
Yes.
To do what they were great at to help the organization.
Perfect. Yeah.
So like, okay, let me look into life coaching.
Yeah.
So I started looking into it. Found a school, was close by, went in, talked to the guy, the finance guy. I said, look, I know you have financing. I can go out and get all the money I need from I'm not going to be approved. I'm telling you, with everything that's gone over the last couple of years, I'm not getting approved.
Yeah.
I said, but let's make a deal. You give me a number now. We'll come up with a number that I can work with.
Yeah.
And I'll pay it off. He says, you got a deal, except that you don't get your certification until you're paid off. I said, that's a fair deal.
That's fair. Yeah.
Fair deal. So I started. And about 2 months before I was going to start, It was my 24th wedding anniversary.
Oh, wow.
Right? Nice.
Yeah.
And my anniversary happens to fall out on the day before Valentine's Day.
Oh, my God. That's great. Wow.
No, day after. Excuse me. The day after Valentine's. So it's my 24th wedding anniversary. And my wife says, I'm done. I want a divorce.
What?
Boom, boom, boom.
What else can happen, Martin? Oh, my God.
Exactly. That's exactly what I said. I said, I keep on getting knocked down.
Yeah.
Why does everything keep happening
Yeah.
to me? Right? Now, what I've come to learn since then is that line of why does everything keep happening to me? That's a cop-out.
Yeah.
That's blaming everybody else for what's going on in the world.
Yep.
And saying it's all happening to me and it's their fault that I'm where I am. All right? Which I did for 40 plus years of my life. I looked to blame everyone else. Now I say everything happens
For me. Or through you.
Through me.
Through you. That's true.
Through me.
Yeah.
Not for me, through me.
Through me's good.
In
Yeah,
my
I like
control.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. But
I had the same revelation when I'll tell you, when I realized it's not my negative relatives, it's not the economy, it's not the interest rates, it's me. On one hand, okay, that's bad. On the other hand, that's the one thing I have control over. And so I now am empowered.
Exactly right, Cliff.
Yeah.
So yeah. So here I am. I'm 2 months away from going into coach training. I'm like, do I really want to do this? I think God tapped me on the shoulder and said,
yeah.
Okay, you want to go there? I wanted to make sure you were down in the dumps so that you could do it right.
That's right.
Pull all the rugs out from under you, man.
Then if you still want it, then I know it's true.
Right.
Yeah.
And right before I went, about a month before, they sent me a list of books. And they said, pick out a couple of these books and read them beforehand.
Yeah. Oh, tell me.
And one of them was The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. You know that
I
book?
have it. Absolutely. I've read it, I think, 3 times. Yeah.
Exactly. For me, it was a life changer. As a matter of fact, Tom Brady says it's his daily mantra to say the 4 Agreements.
Oh, man, I should do that. That's probably good. That should be a daily thing. Yeah, absolutely.
For me, when I read that book and I read the second agreement, and for those of those out there that don't know what the second agreement is, don't take anything personally.
Right. Yep.
Cliff, it was as if Miguel Ruiz was talking directly to me, telling me a secret that the world had been telling me my entire life. But until that minute, I wasn't ready to hear it.
Yep. Yeah. Wow. That is good stuff. Yep. You got to be ready to hear it. Yeah. Yeah.
I could coach somebody from here to the end of the world life. But if they're not ready to hear what I'm coaching them, I'm the worst coach in the world. No,
that's right. Yeah. The thing, I'm finishing a health coaching program. And one of the things that they talked about on one of their podcasts was the person was thinking, I've tried to coach my friends and relatives and it just wasn't working. Well, they didn't want to be coached. And it goes to what you said. I mean, they didn't want it. Yeah.
There are millions of health programs out there, right?
Yeah.
Every one of them work if you do the work.
Yeah, you got to work it. Yeah. Absolutely.
And I am a product of that because
yeah.
At one point, a few years after my divorce, after I moved out of the house, after I got my coaching and I thought I was doing the right thing and all that, I was at the heaviest I was at a point in my life.
Wow.
And a friend of mine on Facebook was talking about this 25-minute video I could do from home.
Yeah.
I could afford that. It was called Beachbody.
Beachbody. I know that. Yeah.
T25 with Sean T.
Yeah.
With using those Beachbody videos, in 9 months, I lost 65 pounds.
Unbelievable. That's great.
Yeah. But
you look good. You look good. You're still working out then.
I put a little back on. I got to get it off again.
Not much. Not much.
Me. I know it's me. But with that, when I was going through those things, the endorphins started going off. And I said, you know what? I'm a coach, but I'm not being coached. I'm doing this. And my friend also, who got me into the videos, was also coaching me for free.
Great. Wow.
It was great. He kept me accountable.
Yeah.
It made a huge difference. So, I mean, we went off the story a little bit, but basically I became a divorce recovery coach.
Good.
I wonder why.
Because you've already done it. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
You're coming from a real place. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the results that it had for me. I
Yeah.
said, I got to help other people do the same thing.
Man, that's good. You were right in your wheelhouse because you're talking about, you're walking the talk. So, I mean, that's important for people that
Yeah,
you come from authenticity there.
exactly. Because there's so many coaches out there. Oh, I can help you. I've never been through what you've been through, but I can help you.
Yeah. I know the theory. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
I don't know about you, but I need to learn from somebody who's walked that
Walk
path.
it.
Otherwise I don't take it. I don't know. Even though it might be the
Exactly.
right information. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where, that. And then after a few years, I got into better shape. My mindset was right. And I was doing things that I never did before. Look, I'm ADHD. I'm all over the place.
Yeah.
But one of the things I was doing was I was meditating.
Yeah. Good.
Could you imagine an ADHD guy meditating?
Yeah, I can. I believe you can do anything.
Yeah. But my mind's like, and I was doing the guided 10-minute meditations with like Headspace.
Yeah.
I'm like, when is this going to be over? My mind is all over the place. How do people stop thinking about things doing yoga? I don't get it. But one day I had this download of information that, and I didn't stop meditating. I finished the meditating. And when I stopped, I wrote for 2 hours.
Good.
The download that came. And that was that I was loving my life and I wanted to show other people too. And I took the word life and made it my mantra.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
And it stands for live incredibly full every day.
Oh, that's so simple and memorable and applicable. That's awesome. Yeah.
All right. And for me, it's being happy and meaningful.
Yes. It's got to have meaning for sure. Yeah.
You could be happy with no meaning.
Yeah.
Right? Happiness is self-love, self-care, even selfish.
Yeah.
Right? And that's okay. Meaningful is selfless.
Yeah.
There are a ton of people out there that are doing meaningful things that are miserable.
Yeah.
So it's
That's
getting
true,
up
man.
every day and having a happy and meaningful life.
Yeah. I go out there, man. I'm so joyous. I wish, and I'm not to the point yet because then I'd like to show my spiritual side, but then sometimes I have imposter syndrome with it. Well, I've only been into the Word a short time. I don't have the depth to talk about that, but I should be more forthcoming in why I have so much joy, right? But
Right.
I bring that out there to everybody because I actually am grateful for another day. I mean, it's about the meaning you give to things. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. So that's where we are. So I put together a program and I started going out there and coaching and whatever. And after about 7, 8, 9 years of doing that, I was like, okay, it's time for me to take what I've learned about myself and help my clients do.
Yes.
And put it down in a program. And you mentioned my book. It's called Warrior to Warrior.
Warrior to Warrior. Yep.
Right. You see me there smiling and worried at the same time.
That's right. Hey, I like it. Yeah.
Right?
That's the transition right there, man.
That's it. And on the bottom, it says 7 steps to uncover the warrior within and live incredibly full every day.
I'll put a link to that. Is that on Amazon? And how about audio
It's
too?
on Amazon, but if you go to my website, connectwithmartin.com, there's a link to take you there too.
Yeah, and that's a great website, connectwithmartin.com. You got all sorts of services you're providing as far as life-enhancing, life coaching programs. And so I would encourage anybody that would want to work with you to go there, check you out, because you're the real deal.
Thank you so much. So now you talked about earlier, the 7 secrets to an abundant mindset.
Yes, exactly. Let's talk about that.
All right, cool. So I'm curious, Cliff, what do you think it takes to have an abundant mindset? What are some of the things you need to have?
I guess you would have to get rid of some self-limiting beliefs is what I would go with. Yeah. And then be open to learning and growing and adopting a new mindset. I mean,
unbelievable. You know what? You hit the W right on the head.
Okay? Oh, good.
So you see, this is a card. I made a card deck.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, it's visual. Right? You can hold it.
Of my course.
Yeah. Oh, right? I love it.
And it's little snippets of the book. Why did I do this? If somebody's interested in learning about me, but they don't want to go to buy the course, or they don't want to buy a book and read the whole thing, they could buy the card deck and just get a little snippet about what some of the things. And if they like that, they can go to the book. or they can
Right.
go to the course or whatever. Or if somebody read the book and they go, I love this, but I can't carry it around with me all the time.
Yeah.
Great. Get the card deck. Carry it
Yeah.
around in your pocket. Pull out a card every once in a while when you need it.
I think that's so great because you're doing a couple of things. You're seeing it, but then you're feeling it. It's tangible. It's in your hand, but it's easily to go over it. And some of these things, you read it. It's great. It impacted you. 48 hours later, you might not even be able to recall it. If you keep looking at these cards in this deck, it's going to be affecting your subconscious mind. You're going to be adopting these thoughts.
That's right. That's right. So, the card.
I love
The
it.
abundant warrior within you.
Within you,
7
yeah.
secrets to an abundant mindset. So I love acronyms. You saw
I
with
do too.
life.
Yeah.
So here's warrior. W. Seek wisdom.
Wisdom is so great. Yes.
Seek wisdom. Right? That means never stop learning. Be open-minded.
Always be learning.
Be willing to learn something new. Don't think you know everything, because you know what? You don't even know what you don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
So
you're
that's
preaching.
the first one. W.
Yeah.
Now, A is another part of my course. And I call it the cycle of A's. And it's 3 A's.
Okay.
Ask, act, and attitude. Okay?
Yes.
Ask. Request the universe for what you want.
That's right.
God, this is what I want. That's like the law of attraction.
That's right.
But
Yeah.
most people think, oh, I asked the universe and nothing happened. Because that's not the way the law of attraction works.
Yeah.
Right? So the next one is act. Be proactive in getting what you want. Do the work to get it.
Yes.
Right? And then the last one is A, attitude. Don't have a strong desire that gives off thoughts of lack.
Right.
Meaning, don't be emotionally tied to the outcome. Oh,
Correct.
I got to get this. I asked for it. I'm doing the work. Oh, I got to get it. That's lack. The more lack you have, the more abundance will stay away from you. I know it's a little woo-woo for some of the guys out there, but trust me, it's all part of the ether that's out there, the God, the higher
Yep.
universe.
Oh, yeah.
higher thought. It's all there. You've got to think right. You've got to be right. You've got to have the right attitude.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So that's the W and the A. R, realization. Realize and be content that I have everything I need in my life right now.
Correct. Yeah.
Right? There's a story in the Bible in the Torah. I'm Orthodox Jewish.
Yep. The first
Go to synagogue on Saturday.
first five books, the first five books of the Bible. Yeah. Torah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And in it is a story about two brothers, Jacob and Esau. Okay? And in the book, they're fighting. They're always fighting. And Jacob ends up, quote unquote, stealing the birthright from him. And then stealing the blessing from the father, Isaac. And then Isaac and Rebekah send him away. And he goes to his uncle and he stays there for 20 plus years, marries the uncle's 2 daughters and has 2 other wives, and ends up with 11 sons coming back. And God says, it's time for you to go home.
Right.
And in the back of his mind, he's like, uh-oh, I'm going to see my brother. This is going to be an issue.
Yeah.
So he says, I'm going to butter him up. I'm going to
Right.
send him gifts after gifts. And he sends camps ahead of him with people, gifts.
Yep.
This is from your servant Jacob. This is from your servant Jacob. Now he's buttered him up. They get together and Esau puts his arm around him and starts kissing him. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to see you. Thank you for all these gifts. I have a lot. And Jacob turns to him and says, it's okay. You could keep the gifts. I have everything.
Yeah.
When Esau said, I have a lot, he's saying, I have a lot, but I want more.
That's right. Yeah.
The mindset of lack.
Yes.
Jacob said, I have everything, and when I need more, God will provide.
Yeah.
So that's the first R, right? Realization. The
Got it.
next R is recognize. Recognize, be grateful for everything you have. Gratitude.
Yeah. That's right.
Be grateful. The more grateful you are, the more abundance will show up in your life.
That's right.
It's when you start complaining that abundance goes away,
Absolutely. Yep.
right? Then I, imagination. think big. Norman
That's
Vincent
right.
Peale said, shoot for the moon, you may hit the stars.
Absolutely. Yes.
Or maybe it was shoot for the stars, you may hit the moon, whichever
That's
one it
right.
is.
Yeah.
But you get it.
Oh, yeah.
Then O, optimism. Find positive in everything.
That's right.
Whoever tells you don't wear rose-colored glasses, don't listen to them. Put on rose-colored glasses.
No.
Look for the beauty. Look for the happiness. Look for the optimism in everything that goes on in your life.
Through every adversity, there's an equal or greater opportunity if you'll just look for it.
That's right. Exactly. And then last, which is right what you're talking about now, is be resilient.
Resilience, a great word.
Be flexible. Have an open mind.
Yes.
If you're on a path and something happens that you weren't expecting or doesn't go with what you're thinking, don't say, oh my God, it's over. No, it's the universe. It's God telling you, you've got to make a course correction.
That's
be
right.
Be flexible, change, be resilient. That's the 7 steps.
Perfect. I love it. Warrior, man. Wisdom and the 3 A's, man. The act, ask, attitude. God, that's good. Realization. Man, recognize. God, imagination is so important, right? Image. Get that thought in your mind. Picture what you want. Optimism, so important. Resilient. You got to be resilient. Tenacity. Awesome. These are the 7 secrets, man. Get this. Where do they get this card deck? Is that with the book or is that separate?
It's separate, but you just, same thing. Go to connectwithmartin.com. There's a link there too.
Connectwithmartin.com. That's great.
I gotta make it easy, Cliff.
You have to. There has to be less friction. That's right. So you've made it easy, man. I love it. Connectwithmartin.com. That's easy to remember. Fantastic, man. You got a great program there. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So, what is the school that you went to? Do you ever say what it was or who it was?
Oh, sure.
The life coach
school I went to was called IPEC, which stands for Institute for Professional. Professional in coaching.
Oh, okay. IPEC. Okay.
Professional excellence in coaching.
Oh, excellent in coaching.
IPEC.
Right.
IPEC.
Yeah. Wow.
Institute for Professional Excellence in Coaching.
How long was the program? How long did it take to get through that?
It was almost a year. It was 9 months back then. Yeah.
Man, so that's pretty in-depth.
Like I was giving birth to a baby.
Yeah.
And you know what came out of that? The new baby. I went from Martin 1.0 to Martin 2.0.
Martin 2.0. I love that. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Now, do you do?
Was a people pleaser. Had a short temper. Took everything personally.
Oh man.
And I was a control freak, and all those things weren't happening. I lost it.
Me too. I went through the same transformation you did. Yeah. Unbelievable. Yeah. Yeah. I had.
You were in a stressful position. You used to do some life or death things.
Yeah, and I guess it's your reaction to it. I took it all as, hey, I'm thankful to be alive, man. I want to take that opportunity to do good. But right. I had went to a negative place, and then I said I'll show them. I'm going to quit the department and go. I'm going to be a real estate agent. So I got my real estate license, and then my broker sent me to real estate training, and it was Jim Rohn. It was a seminar by Jim Rohn. And it was more like life training, right? I'm there for sales training.
I didn't know he did real estate training.
Well, he did business mastery stuff, right, Jim?
Right.
And then this was probably 90, 91. And then from there, I ended up going, Tony Robbins started off working for Jim Rohn. And so that's how I got into Tony Robbins. So all of a sudden, we talked that epiphany that it wasn't anybody else. All of a sudden, when I started gaining skills and I started changing, then my police career changed. Then everything changed, yeah. and then wow. Then I got excited like you have, and you just want to share these things with everybody else. Like, hey, empower yourself, man. Yeah,
exactly right.
Oh man.
Yeah, so now I love what I'm doing, and recently I launched a program where I help coaches get to 7 figures within 2 years, guaranteed.
Well, maybe I'll take your program. Because I'm about to finish a health coaching program that's pretty in depth, like the one you went to. It's been 8 months already. It's by a guy named Mark Sisson, the Primal Health Coach Institute. This guy's in his 70s. He's still pretty jacked up, and so it's a really good program. But I'm loving it. But and it's kind of and the program's kind of client led, and they're really good. They just don't train you. They train you the information on one pillar, then they go into the coaching. Then they go into the business and marketing. So, I mean, they don't leave you without resources, and they're
Oh,
there.
that's great.
Yeah, they're
That's
there
great.
with you the whole way, man.
Right. So what I put together, and
Tell me.
just to give you an idea,
Please.
is what I call a risk reversal strategy.
Risk reversal. Okay.
Yeah. So what is that? If I say risk reversal to you, what do you think of?
That you've eliminated. It's no more risk.
Okay, but I've reversed the risk. Think of it that way.
Opportunity.
Risk reversal
Maybe you're
strategy.
switching that with you're creating opportunity.
Exactly. Let me tell you how I do that.
Please.
So for many years, I've been in and out of coach the coaches programs,
Yes.
right? Where they promise me that I'm going to get to all these numbers and things are going to be hunky-dory and everything fantastic. And I would get into these programs and pay up front basically all the money.
Right.
Or promise to and get, sign a contract that I'm going to pay it all those things. And then you get into the program and either they think you know everything you're supposed to know, computer wise or whatever, and how to do Facebook ads or whatever.
Right.
Or they go, watch these videos, go do it, and you'll figure it out. And I would falter. They call them done with you programs or done for you programs. Right?
Yeah.
Have you heard those terms?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Well, I look at those programs, and I'm not going to mention any names, as done to you programs.
Yeah. Thanks, but no thanks for doing to me. Yeah, that's awesome.
Right. So when I started putting this program together, at first I was like, I don't want to do that because that's what other people. Then this risk reversal strategy came to me, and I'm going to be honest, it's not something I created, but I learned about it.
Yeah.
And I did the research, and I was like, oh, so imagine, I'm going to tell you I'm going to get you here. But to get you there, I'm going to say, this is how much my program costs.
Right.
But I'm only asking for 12.5% right now.
Gotcha.
That's it. That's just to get started.
How come
And
12.5%? Why'd you pick that?
Because it's showing that that you're willing to put in the work.
Right. Yeah.
You're making a commitment that you're willing to put the work. Now, the risk is reversed on me to get you to want to pay me more.
Good.
How do I get you to want to pay me more? What's the best way to get you to pay me?
Creating value.
Creating value. How about creating results?
Results. Absolutely. The end of the game is results, right? In everything.
It's not about coaching information. It's coaching results.
Coaching results. Absolutely.
So now you don't pay me again until you hit a benchmark.
I like it.
And when you hit that benchmark, you're giving me another 12.5%. But basically, it's a 2-to-1 return on your investment.
That is great. Yeah.
The next time you pay me, you give me 25%. And you've got a 5-to-1 return on your investment. And you don't pay me the last 50% until you hit the number.
Wow. That is a great program. That just shows the confidence you have and you know that it works.
Right. And there's a couple of other things I guarantee. Number one, I guarantee that there's going to be chaos.
Yeah. Right.
All right. So get ready. We're in for a bumpy ride, but
yeah, that's right.
We're going to be good.
Yeah.
And that's where the second guarantee comes in. I guarantee I will not give up on you if you don't give up on you.
Yeah. Good.
And if you give up on you, I'm still going to come after your ass and get you going anyway.
Yeah. I think that's what separates you from other programs, your guarantee and all these, the benchmarks. I haven't heard of that. And so, man.
Yeah. So I was talking to a coach of mine a few months ago, a former coach of mine who I'm still in a great relationship. He goes, you know what, Martin? You just came up with something. And recently I saw a post where somebody had written on a Facebook chat, how come coaches never put skin in the game?
Yeah.
He goes, you just put skin in the game.
That's right. You did. I mean, who could ask for anything more? You're guaranteeing what you're going to be there doing, and you're guaranteeing results. Risk reversal. That's what you're doing. Yeah, I like it.
Thank
Man,
you.
that is good.
And I'm loving what's happening with the people that are in my program now.
Yeah,
they're getting results. They're about. I only started the program a few months ago.
Okay.
And now they're starting to see the fruits of the labor. And what's beautiful about what I do is it's comprehensive. I don't leave anything out.
Right.
And we have weekly calls, and they're group coaching calls, but they're really one-on-one because I go through each person there, spend time with them, And then everybody else is learning as we're going through and saying, oh, this might be something that's important for me to learn.
Yeah. Everybody benefits from the other conversations you're having and they might not even want to talk about that, but they're experiencing the same things.
Exactly. And
Man.
then eventually, as they move along, they're going to be put into a mastermind.
Yeah.
Right? Where I'm not coaching them. They're all there helping each other facilitate each other.
Facilitation. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is so great. And so if somebody wants to work with you, they could be anywhere, right? It's kind of like this type of setting. And
like this. Exactly like this.
so you're available worldwide.
Worldwide.
If you're so are you mostly you're helping life coaches?
Mostly it's business coaches, life coaches,
Any
coaches
kind of
that are
coaching.
looking to make an impact in the world
Yes.
and be profitable.
Yes.
And my guarantee is to get them to 7 figures.
That's a big one. That's big.
Listen. I'll tell you this one. This is a little nugget for you.
Please.
For coaches to get to 6 figures, it takes a right system.
Right.
Right? To get beyond 6 figures and on the way to 7 figures, you've got to have the right mindset.
That's right.
So I'm giving them the nuts and bolts, and then they're getting the access to my book and course and cards so that they can change the mindset, because we spent some time on mindset in every coaching call. And if they got something coming up, come talk to me about it. Let's figure out how we can help you. And other people can listen to that. Maybe they've got the same things going on, like you talk about. And then here's the last part. To go further, after 7 figures, you've got to be scalable.
Correct. Yeah. If it's not scalable, you can't make it happen.
Right.
Yeah.
And people are like, what does that mean, scalable? I mean that you're doing what you should be doing most. And you have people around you doing what they're good at.
Correct.
Did you ever read Rich Dad, Poor Dad?
Of course, 3 times. Of course. Kiyosaki, are you kidding me?
I met
love
him
him.
in 1997.
Oh, did you really? Oh, that's
I met
awesome.
him at an Amway convention.
Oh my God, I remember Amway. Yes. Oh my God.
His book had just come out. He spoke on stage. I went to his table. I bought the book. I already had the book, actually. And he was selling his board game called Cash Flow.
Yeah, Cash Flow.
He
that.
signed my board.
Yeah.
All right. I still have it. I found it last week. I sent pictures.
Yeah.
But Robert Kiyosaki said, I want to be the dumbest person in my business.
Yes. That's right.
And I said, right. So what I say is the people that know how work for the people that know why.
That's correct. I just talked to a guy today about know your why first, and the how will come later. But the why.
But here,
yeah.
I read this unbelievable book by Dan Sullivan. It's called Who, Not How.
Right. Oh, I gotcha. God, I haven't read that one. I'm going to read that one. Who, not how.
When you get up in the morning and say, how am I going to get my website done? How am I going to do this? You're spending hours doing something that you should not be doing. And let's say you're worth $200 an hour, Cliff. Let's just use that number.
Yeah.
And you spend 5 hours doing stuff you shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
You just wasted $1,000.
$1,000. Yeah.
Now go out and find somebody who knows exactly what they're doing. They'll do it in an hour or two. You pay them $50 an hour, $100 an hour.
Yeah.
You saved $800.
That's exactly. You got to be doing what you're supposed to be doing to earn the revenue and
Stay
farm
in
out the
your
other stuff.
lane of genius.
Correct.
Look,
I love it.
Are you a football fan?
Of course.
I told you I'm an athletic supporter,
Yeah.
right? What do they tell the guys on the kickoff? The defense when they're coming after the receiver.
Tell me.
Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane.
Right? When they're all running down the field, stay in your lane until you see where he's going to go.
Then take action.
Then take action.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah, I got into I love making money while I'm sleeping. That's when I really like to make money.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever done any affiliate marketing?
I've done a little bit of that, and I have that built into my program here.
Oh my God, that's great.
Right? So if someone decides they want to get into my program, right? Great,
Okay.
beautiful, fantastic. Now let's say you do or you don't, but you think it's a great program and you tell other people about it. By you telling them about it, if they get in, you get 20% on the first amount
that's
of money.
great.
12.5%.
So that's you have your own affiliate program. That's great.
Right.
Perfect. I had put in some, my mother was coming to visit me in California. And so I put some handrails in, and I filmed myself doing it. I drilled into the cement, put these. I like these handrails because they're low, and my mom could get it. I put one in the jacuzzi. I loved it so well, and so I said, check out these. I got an affiliate account through Amazon, right? Amazon Associates, and then I just grabbed my link and I put it in to the video for five. I probably have. So there, I made the video. That I was done with it. I probably, over the past 8 years, I've probably made $2,000 to $3,000 a year off that video. Never touched it. Now, here's the weird thing. People don't know this, and you'll know it, but people don't know this. Let's say they check out my video and they go to Amazon, they click the link for that handrail, and they go, I don't want those things, and they click out. If they come back into Amazon within 24 hours, anything they buy, I get a commission on it. If they come back and buy 10 TVs, I get a commission on that because it dropped cookies. I mean,
the cookies.
How can you not love that system, right? And
people who don't understand cookies don't understand that there's money to be made.
I mean, it's just, so now I wake up and let me just see what I made today. And I go, I made $8. It's not much, but I go, I didn't do, but every summer, those handrails, now it ranks the first. If you put in pool handrails, my video comes up. Yeah, but what I need to do is just scale that. I need 10 of those videos, what I need.
And
what I love about
it, make sure that they're doing it right.
Well, what I love about it is I can do a video on your book, get a link through Amazon, and I'm going to get a commission on everybody who buys your book through my little video.
I would love it.
Which I'm probably going to do because I like the concept of warrior to warrior, and I love your whole program, man. I'm going to be sending some people your way. I do talk to some coaches, but I like that your system of what you're guaranteeing, and once they make certain steps, man, that's great.
Yep.
I think you separated yourself in a very unique way that serves everybody, which is kind of a no-lose.
Now, Cliff, think about this. The people that are going to get into my program, how do you think I'm going to teach them? How do you think I'm going to coach them? I'm going to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Duplicate what I'm doing. I'll give them my blueprints. I'll give them my template so that they can do the same thing.
Oh, I like it. That's great. Now listen, what about, you got some kids, you got family? I see some pictures behind you.
Most of the pictures up here are my grandchildren.
Is that right?
Yeah.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I am 61, but I feel like I flip the number every day. I'm 16.
I feel like I'm 28, and I'm 66. So yeah.
All right.
66,
but I tell you. Younger than that, so you're keeping yourself looking great, Cliff.
Oh, man, let me ask you, do you play tennis at all anymore?
I never played.
Oh, you never played. It was your wife that played tennis. Yeah, I played tennis.
I'm not an athlete.
I played tennis 3 times a week at a club near, and I liked what you told them because they're doing a new owner came in, and he had to change the model. So he redid all of the gyms. So now it's a fitness, racquetball tennis club.
Right.
And
he had the same feasibility guide that I had.
And they had to come up with now they had to make a minimum. They had to make a minimum with the restaurant. So they had to take a different business model so that they could be successful.
Almost like a country club.
Yeah, and I have a friend from New York, and he mentioned, well, hey, that's the way you got to do it because, they buy food for these restaurants. You just can't take a chance on if this is going to happen, right? Or else you throw stuff out.
Yeah.
And But I like that model you brought up with. Hey, any final thoughts? We're going to get ready to close it up. I'm going to be sending people your way for sure. Connectwithmartin.com, and that's so easy to remember. And I'll have all the links in the YouTube description.
The YouTube, people will get a kick out of the YouTube. I haven't done it in a while, but my YouTubes are basically me coaching and cooking.
I saw them today, but all positive, man. I like your attitude. I love the smiling.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So, so you want me to get a last thought?
Please.
How about this? Go out today and make somebody, whether you know them or not, laugh.
Thank you.
Then, when they laugh, thank them for helping you fill your quota to let somebody laugh.
Yes. Oh my God.
Why am I saying this? So you go into the supermarket, you're on the line with the cashier, and you say something that makes her laugh. Now, if you walk away, you forget it, she forgets it, it's over. But imagine if you turn to her and you say, you know what? Thank you so much for filling my quota to help somebody laugh today.
That's great.
Like, what? Now they're going to remember it.
They'll remember that.
Wow, that's great. You say to them, you know what? Pass it on. Let somebody else feel the same way.
That's great, man. I love it. I do that, but I have never stopped to say thank you for helping me fill my quota So that'll be a way to make it unique, and it won't just be a touch and go.
And make
It'll
them
be
feel special in that moment.
Very good. So, hey, after the show, please hang around for a little post-show talk, and we'll do a little debriefing. It's been a pleasure meeting you and talking with you. Once again, I feel like I have a new friend now. Man, I'll tell you what, I think people should go to your coaching program. Maybe even people who haven't even thought about coaching, because, and you probably would say the same thing, there's no greater reward when you have a positive impact on somebody and they let you know that you've affected their life in a positive way. It's like worth $10 million.
Yep.
And
that happened to me twice today. With
oh
two
my
of
God,
clients.
that's great. Wow.
2 of my clients.
That's awesome, Martin. You're doing
Thank
great
you.
things. I appreciate it. And man, thanks again for taking the time. We can make more money anytime, but we can't get our time back. So it's very important that I validate your time. And I think somebody's going to get some great stuff out of this, and I'm going to send them your way. Thanks again, Martin.
Thank you.
You're awesome. Hang around.